a universal credit claimant who's in work and is paid monthly, but not precisely aligned with universal credit months. For example, if the claimant works for the NHS and gets paid on the last day of every month, that claimant will, from time to time, be paid twice in a single universal credit month. The universal credit computer system treats that claimant as if they'd had a 100% pay rise. Their benefit is cut, quite likely to zero. They have to reapply for benefit. Their income will be severely disrupted. One of those, in this case, says she was more financially stable out of work than in work. Another turned down an NHS job for which she was expertly qualified because she knew that universal credit would wreck her finances. So surely nobody, Mr. Speaker, will dispute the view of the appeal court that this policy is irrational. So I'm very grateful that the Minister has accepted the inevitable and isn't going to be paying out for even more expensive lawyers to appeal this case. Surely the department should have given up this fight last year, not waited until the appeal court reached this conclusion. Can I ask him to tell us more about how many people are affected? Because I think the court heard figures around 80,000. It is a very significant problem for a lot of claimants. And in his keeping the House updated, and I'm grateful to him for his assurance about that, will he tell us much more about the numbers who are affected? And will he fix the universal credit computer system as soon as possible?
Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the right honourable gentleman for his question, the constructive way in which he's put it. And I will, of course, keep the chairman of the Select Committee updated as our work in this area progresses. In terms of the case, it was before my time as a minister, but there were several legal points that were considered, and it was only one of those points on which the department lost. And we do face and recognise the decision of the court. We do recognise that some people may face budgeting difficulties, and that is why we are working as quickly as we possibly can to identify the solutions and to address it in line with the court order. What I would say to the gentleman is the scope of this case is limited, and we believe the cohort, as I briefly mentioned, to be in the region of 1,500, but I'm looking to identify this identify that claimant cohort very carefully. I understand that less than 1,000 UC claimants have notified us over the last 18 months that they may be affected by this. But I do think it's important to keep this in the context of the 5.2 million claimants to universal credit.